Hello there, Mad Mike here, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go over some recent news that has come out about the ongoing legal hurdles of the Disney-Fox merger. I think everybody's heard of this, and Disney bought 20th Century Fox, the film and television divisions, for $71 billion. And the deal was approved by the U.S. government, but the thing is it's taken so long to get put through, because Disney still doesn't own all of those properties yet, and the idea is that basically with the financials of it, any country where Disney and or Fox operate from a financial point of view, if they have a headquarters or a place there, an actual working office. If they have a physical presence in a country, basically that country then has to go through the approval process for the financials in order for the merger to take place. So the Disney and Fox have been going through those hurdles with various countries. They've cleared it with the UK, the United States, China, Mexico, and others. And basically, what's happened now is that they hit a bit of a snag in Brazil, and I don't know how long actually this snag has taken place. But Brazil is one of the latter countries that have been working through this. But basically, that snag has now been solved, and really the way that they solved it, and they've solved it with a few other countries, including the United States, is that Disney, upon acquiring Fox, will sell off all of the sports-affiliated content, the channels and stuff like that, that Fox owns, in order to compensate for them absorbing Fox into their collective. So that's really the only stipulation which they agreed to for a price, and as long as they follow through on that, there shouldn't be any kind of defaulting on the deal. So now that the Brazil situation has been solved, they're saying that this could be finalized in roughly 10 days. So we could see mid-March is when the deal is finalized completely. It's all done, and everything's under one roof. And that, again, this was signed in, I believe, 2017, December of 2017. So it's been a year and, 2-3 months since the actual merger was approved. So that was roughly actually how long they said it would take. I think it's a little less actually. They said it would take maybe a little over a year and a half, and I believe it's been less than that. So here's the thing: is what exactly does this mean for both Fox or the Fox properties, and what does it mean for Disney and more specifically Marvel Studios? Now, I think I've already gone over this before. Obviously, Marvel will get Fantastic Four and X-Men back under one roof, and then they'll also get the rights to the original 3 Star Wars films, which I know people have been going after, which is currently under Fox's banner because Fox put out those original films, and those specific edits are still owned by 20th Century Fox, even though Lucasfilm technically owns them. That's why they put out one of the reasons why they put out the alternative cuts of those films is because it was re-edited. Lucasfilm would retain the rights because they were the sole re-editors of it, but the original cuts, the original theatrical cuts, are still owned by Fox. So that would again be under one roof now. So you might see a box set of those come out, which would be kind of interesting. I know a lot of people have been clamoring for those. So you have that. You also have, all of the Fox franchises. So the other thing is you have the Fox X-Men franchise, which is having their last installment this year with X-Men Dark Phoenix. So yeah, Dark Phoenix is going to be coming out. But Dark Phoenix, the problem is that people did not seem to like the trailer. There was a synopsis release that people also did not seem to like very much. And reportedly, the test screenings have bombed terribly. So, this movie is essentially setting itself up. So really, this film, unfortunately looks like it's going to just completely just it looks almost like a dead on arrival right now. And there's not a lot of anticipation for it. People, the Fox Disney merger is a big thing. People know that it's coming. And it's really something that, again, it's kind of like, all right, well, this universe is coming to an end, so, do people really care? They're going to get relaunched in the MCU. It's probably going to be with different actors and whatnot. So, there's not a lot of anticipation for that movie. Then you also have New Mutants, which is being developed right now, which is like an X-Men horror spin-off. Which again I think looks interesting, but that they're saying that might actually get repurposed and then launched under the MCU from Fox Studios, which would be very interesting if they decided to do that and somehow lump that into the MCU. So that could be interesting too if they decide to repurpose that film, which again that is up in the air. Now there have been some good signs. Disney has stated that there are going to be a few things that are popular with Fox right now that they're going to kind of keep going. I believe they are going to keep the Avatar sequels, which, again, I don't really give a shit about, but there's some people that probably do. The other thing is they've stated that Deadpool will remain a rated R franchise, which many people were questioning because of the family-friendly nature of Disney, on whether or not that would stay the same. And honestly, I hope that Disney does try to invest a bit more in some R-rated superhero properties. It did also come out recently that the Black Widow film will not be rated R. It will be PG-13. So, yeah, well, I think that's unfortunate. I don't think that necessarily will make it a bad film in the end. But it is something to pay attention to. Now, there are some other things involving the Disney-Fox merger. So, I mean, you're going to have people that are going to be losing their jobs because when Fox gets absorbed, there's going to be a lot of layoffs, and that is unfortunate. But I'm sure that there will be some kind of retention. So they're not just gonna gut everything out of Fox and just take the money or the properties from them and then just shut down all the studios. I'm sure they will retain some of those employees because a lot of them are probably very talented people. But aside from the fiscal means, there's also going to be some kind of interesting repercussions. So, I mean, there's a stipulation right now. So as soon as that deal goes through, as soon as it's completely finalized, which again they said it could be as close as 10 days away, Kevin Feige has stated that he is ready the second it gets finalized to start production on MCU-related projects related to the properties they will acquire from the merger. Now, if he is really true on that, we could see announcements at Comic-Con this year for X-Men and Fantastic Four and any properties that happen to do with that or just those characters coming into the MCU, and it would be very, very interesting to see. I think this year's Comic-Con could be one of the biggest in history for Marvel if they play their cards right. Now, after, again, I've been harping on kind of the MCU thing. Obviously, they're going to get the Star Wars, and they're going to get a lot of other properties that are related to those things. They're getting the Alien franchise. They're getting the Predator franchise. They're going to be getting a lot of films. They're going to be getting an entire film library. And again, this is also probably to help their streaming service, because now they'll be able to put all of those Fox films on there as well. And, hypothetically, I don't know if they'd actually do it, but they might also be able to kneecap Netflix if they can kind of screw Netflix out of the 20th Century Fox titles that are on the site. So there's a lot up in the air right now with this merger, depending on, how things are going to play out in the aftermath, kind of where the dust is going to settle. But, put in the comments what you think about the merger. Personally, I'm kind of indifferent to it. I do like the idea of having X-Men and Fantastic Four under the MCU roof. I think it would be interesting to see their interpretation of those characters, considering what they did with Spider-Man. It could be interesting. But then also, it is kind of bad because you have the monopolization of Hollywood under Disney, which again, we saw what happened with Star Wars. As soon as they got their hands on it, they, destroyed it completely. It took them a little while, but they did manage to sink that Titanic. Hopefully, they don't sink this one as well. But after that, we'll see what happens. But let's just think about what we're going to do. Well, think about what they're going to do and kind of just hope for the best. So put in the comments what you think about the merger finally going through. Are you excited to see anything? And make sure you hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications, subscribe, and remember, I live my life free of compromise. Do you?